us, it's a difficult time for our football family. I know it's a very, very difficult time for Nick Mullen and his family. For what he's meant to all of us. The impact he's made on everyone's life. And to all of our players. If you got to know him, spend any time with him. So I never had a bad day. Always loved to come out, be around his teammates, loved to play football. And you can see in the last couple of weeks getting to spend some time with his family. How much he impacted their lives and all the special things he meant to them. Our prayers are obviously with his family at home right now, going through all the difficult things that they're doing. Our football team, I know is hurting right now, learning how to cope. We have a lot of young men, 18 to 22 years old, that are learning how to deal with a grief like this for their first time. And our coaching staff, we're trying to be there for in this football family. Nick was a son, and he was a brother to everybody in this football family. And I know he's looking down on us right now. I'm sure he's already been picked on the team up in heaven to be playing football, the game that he loved. We went out today to practice. That's the sanctuary. That's a sanctuary for I know, for our coaches, for our players, for our football family to be on that field together, doing the thing we love most, doing the thing I know Nick loved the most. Kind of felt good to sweat out some of the feelings and the emotions that are inside. But I know he'll be with us in spirit and looking down on it, and has his arms around this football team, this football family. And I know he's left his mark on a lot of people in this world, and done a lot of amazing things.
If you have a question, raise your hand. We're going to get you a microphone.
Dan, how hard was it out there at practice? Because you felt the sanctuary. Is it therapeutic?
I think it's very therapeutic for our guys once we got out there. I think it's tough to do. Initially just getting out there. But I know you go through, I told our team there's no right or wrong way to feel or right or wrong way to act right now. And I think keeping in a routine for our guys and letting them do the things they love was important. And you can see at times, there's times where, guys are on an emotional roller coaster just being out there to practice. But I know for them getting to be out there doing what they love for 2 hours and getting in our special world that we have all around the field was therapeutic to a lot of those guys.
When was the last time I spoke to Nick?
Sunday evening. Sunday evening I knew we were going to make it. I had to speak in Birmingham Monday. And I know he was going to they were looking at him starting chemotherapy this week, so we were going to plan on going out there. And after I spoke in Birmingham, Megan came out there with me, and the plan was we were just going to meet up, have lunch, go out after. I was at the Touchdown Club, and go out and have a late lunch afterwards, and just get to spend some time together. Before that happened, and I know his mom called Megan later Sunday evening saying that they were rushing him over to the hospital.
Dan, I hate to ask this, but have you ever lost a player before?
We have lost our starting quarterback of mine at the University of Florida. Was killed in a motorcycle accident during our bye week. There, a very tough thing to deal with. Very, very hard. Very hard for our players. I try to put a lot in perspective of when I was in college with a brother that I was close friends with. A lot of us were friends with, passed away while we were in college, and I try to just think back and draw the memory and the emotions I had as an 18 to 22-year-old. This process, I think, is not good for anybody, but and not easy for anybody. But I also, you know, we need to be there for our players, for Nick's family. That's our job, because the emotions I think they go through as I think back on the time when I had to do it when I was young. The emotional roller coaster you go through is hard to comprehend sometimes. You know, we build these guys up to be big, fast, strong, tough. They feel like, try to make them feel invincible, that they can accomplish and do anything they can in this world. And you know, when they see this situation, it's just a tidal wave of emotions that runs over our players.
We saw him 10 days ago on the sideline. Just what did you remember from that, from seeing him on the sideline?
I remember being thrilled that he was on the sidelines with us. You know, I know he came to the hotel, got on the bus, came over, had a pregame meal, hang with the team, come on the team bus over there. You know, it's just great to have him back on the sidelines. And, you know, we wanted to, you know, to give him a lot to fight for. You know, to be back part of this football team, and I shouldn't say that, he was always part of the team. You know, but to know that everybody believed that he would be back on that sidelines in full pads one day, not just on his jersey on the sidelines. And, you know, it was great having him there. And I know, I mean, he was just such a great kid, and a great man, actually, that, you know, we knew he'd fight with everything he had.
I know last night, I guess, a busload of y'all went over to Birmingham. I mean, how did that go? And do you think the players got something from that to be able to make that trip?
Yeah, I mean, I went over there during the day. We stopped by the hospital to see the family, and after visiting with them, I didn't want to wait. We called back over here, and originally we were going to try to go this morning with the team. And after leaving the hospital, I thought, you know, that's not fair. With how Nick was, and he needed his family and teammates around him. So, you know, we had a team meeting and let everybody know what was going on, and found a bus. Looked at the bus, probably didn't know if it was going to make it there. It was the last second, whatever we could find. We grabbed a bus and loaded up a bunch of guys. And, it was great that I think a lot of our players got to go and see the situation and say their goodbyes. And, you know, and pray and give all their love to Nick and his family at the time.
You can come from.
What did the doctors tell you, or what do you know about, just exactly what occurred and why it maybe worsened the way it did?
We know very little. We find, you know, for me to speak on in those terms, I'm sure we'll have some of the doctors, if the family wishes to expand on it. We recall Friday that they had done some tests, and that the cancer metastasized through his body, so he was going to have to go through chemotherapy. And then found out that there was some more tumors and bleeding in his brain, and another one that had just come up and really, I think, grew very rapidly. And they did what they could to relieve the pressure on the brain. And did the surgery as best they could, but that's as much as we really knew. You know, we knew the doctors didn't give the specifics with me. They just said